The death of the highly respected actor Gene Hackman, the 95-year-old, was found dead along with his wife.
Gene Hackman, the legendary actor, found dead in his New Mexico home, together with his wife and Betsy.
Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, and a dog were found deceased.
FBI agents expected a simple case when they entered Gene Hackman's mansion.
Security then checked on the residence and observed Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa on the ground unresponsive.
What they found was shocking: hidden secrets, a mysterious room, and clues pointing to something dark. What happened in those final moments? And why was the FBI involved? Was it an accident or something more? Let's find it out together. Santa Fe, New Mexico, a quiet town now caught in a mystery. Gene Hackman, a famous actor loved for The French Connection and Superman, was found dead in his big, sunny home. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, lay beside him. At first, it seemed like a sad accident. But soon, things felt strange. People thought it was carbon monoxide poisoning, a silent killer. But when FBI agents checked the house, something seemed off.
Both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide.
The front door was open. That was strange because they always kept it locked. Outside, two of their dogs ran around acting upset. A third dog stayed still inside its crate. That was even more worrying. Hackman's body was near the back door. His cane and sunglasses were on the floor, like he had fallen fast. Arakawa was in the bathroom, surrounded by medicine bottles. There were no signs of a fight, no broken locks. But something was wrong. Was it an accident? Maybe one got sick and the other passed soon after. But their bodies had been there for days. How did no one notice? People everywhere wanted answers. The truth was still hidden. Who was Gene Hackman when he wasn't acting? And more importantly, what really happened in his final moments? Gene Hackman never liked the Hollywood spotlight. Even when he was famous, he stayed away, choosing a quiet life instead. Now, after his strange death, people have more questions than ever. Who was Gene Hackman when he wasn't acting? And did leaving Hollywood hold the answer to what really happened? Born on January 30th, 1930 in San Bernardino, California, Hackman had a tough childhood. His father left when he was young, teaching him early that he had to take care of himself. That lesson shaped his life. He joined the military, worked small jobs, and faced many rejections in Hollywood, but he never gave up. He started acting at the Pasadena Playhouse, hoping to prove himself. But even there, he was doubted. One review called him the student least likely to succeed. Many would have quit, but Hackman pushed harder. He took any role he could get, kept trying, and never let failure stop him. In 1967, he got his big break in Bonnie and Clyde. His role as Buck Barrow made Hollywood take notice. Soon, he starred in movies like The French Connection, The Conversation, and Unforgiven. Hackman's journey was about never giving up. He went from struggling to one of the greatest actors ever.
But I would say probably Gene was the best actor that I'd ever worked with.
But off-screen, he stayed a mystery. At the top of his career, he left Hollywood.
This week, our community lost a giant, and I lost a dear friend, Gene Hackman.
He chose a quiet life in New Mexico over fame. While others chased the spotlight, he disappeared. He gave a few interviews and spent his time writing, far from the world of movies. People wondered, why did he leave? Was he looking for peace, or was he hiding something? Now, after his sudden death, those questions are back. His private life, his decision to leave, and his need for secrecy. What was the truth? Then came the biggest surprise. The FBI showed up at his home. It's rare for agents to investigate a retired actor's passing. Their presence meant something bigger was happening. What were they looking for? And why was Gene Hackman's death not as simple as it seemed? As the investigation continues, one thing is clear. This is not an ordinary case. Gene Hackman lived his last years in quiet peace. He and his wife, Betsy, stayed away from the spotlight. Their life was simple and calm, but things started to change. Hackman had always been strong. But in 2023, he was seen using a cane. He walked slowly, his body thinner. His voice was softer, but his eyes stayed sharp. His loved ones noticed small changes. He moved stiffly, his eyesight faded, and sometimes he forgot little things. Betsy cared for him, making sure life stayed the same. Then, suddenly, they were both gone. The news shocked everyone. They were found together at home. No clear reason was given.
Police authorities believe actor Gene Hackman may have died 9 days before he and his wife Betsy Arakawa were found dead inside their home in Santa.
The reports were short, no crime, natural causes likely. But people had doubts. Their daughter, Elizabeth, thought carbon monoxide might be the cause. It's a silent killer, but tests showed nothing. The idea was ruled out and no answers remained. Betsy's passing was peaceful, but Hackman's autopsy gave no clear reason for his death. No heart attack, no stroke, nothing serious enough to explain it. 2 people gone the same night with no clear reason. Was it fate, heartbreak, or something else? No one knew. Though the truth is a mystery, one thing is sure: Gene Hackman will never be forgotten. The autopsy ruled out common causes, but the mystery remained. If it wasn't carbon monoxide and neither Hackman nor Betsy had health issues, then what happened? Investigators hoped toxicology tests would help. Instead, they found nothing. The results showed nothing unusual. Betsy had no harmful drugs in her body, even though pill bottles were nearby. There were no sedatives, alcohol, or drugs. No toxins, no clues. Just 2 people who had suddenly stopped living. The more they searched, the stranger it seemed. Hackman lay near a back door, his cane and sunglasses on the floor, like he had fallen mid-step. Betsy was in the bathroom near the counter where her medicine sat open. It looked like she took something and collapsed, but the tests said otherwise. Even experts were puzzled. Then there was the house. The couple had been dead for a week before anyone found them, yet no one had noticed. They lived quietly, but people still leave small signs of life. A light turning on, a car moving, mail being picked up. Their house was silent. Neighbors later admitted it felt odd. The curtains never moved. The lights stayed the same. The cars didn't shift in the driveway. And then, the most chilling part, the front door was open. Hackman was careful. He liked his privacy. He lived far from others on purpose. Yet when police arrived, the front door was slightly open, like it hadn't been shut all the way. Investigators couldn't ignore it. Had one of them tried to leave but collapsed? Had someone entered or left? There was no sign of a break-in. Nothing was missing. No struggle. It didn't make sense. The timeline was also unclear. When had anyone last spoken to them? Hackman's daughter hadn't talked to him for days, but that was normal. He liked his space. Friends said their messages went unanswered, but that wasn't unusual either. Still, with no cause of death, the silence in their final days seemed strange. Investigators ran out of ideas. There was no crime scene, but there was no reason why 2 healthy people would die at the same time, for no clear reason. The case felt mysterious. Then, the FBI found something unexpected. Inside Hackman's study, hidden in a drawer, was a single sheet of paper. A note, written in a rush, the ink smudged, the writing shaky. "It's coming. We can't stop it. I'm sorry." The words sent a chill through those who read them. What was coming? Did Hackman write it before he died? Did he know something no one else did? Was it nonsense or a warning? If he wrote it, it was the last thing he ever put to paper. People die suddenly all the time. Sometimes there are no answers, but this case felt different. Too many strange details, no clear explanation. The investigation meant to find the truth only made things more confusing. Hackman had lived a life full of surprises. Was it just a coincidence that his death was just as mysterious? And if there was an answer, would anyone ever know the truth? People wondered if Hackman and Betsy decided to leave the world together, a sad but quiet choice in their home. At first, the signs seemed to back up this idea. There was no struggle, no break-in, and no clear cause of death. They lived away from everyone, in peace. Hackman, once strong on screen, had gotten weaker. Betsy stayed with him, keeping things calm. Did they decide to go together? There were prescription bottles near Betsy. Maybe she took something on purpose, but the reports showed no harmful substances. If they planned this, why didn't it show? Another strange thing was where they were found. Normally, in a suicide pact, people are found together. But Hackman was near the back door, and Betsy was in the bathroom. If one went first, what happened to the other? And the biggest question is, why was there no note? Most people who do this leave a message, a letter, or a reason. Hackman and Betsy left nothing. No goodbyes, no plans, no sign they were ready. For many, this made the suicide idea less likely. If it was their choice, why did it seem like an accident? What was really going through Hackman's mind in those last months? The FBI searched Gene Hackman's house, hoping for answers. But instead, they found more questions. There was no sign of a break-in, no fight, no poison, no reason why two healthy people died the same night. What they found only deepened the mystery. The house felt frozen, as if Hackman and Betsy had vanished without a trace. The investigation, meant to be simple, became a puzzle with no solution. Toxicology reports showed nothing. No medical cause for their deaths. Could Hackman have died from something that no test could show? Friends had noticed strange moments where Hackman seemed lost in thought, as if something troubled him deeply. Was he struggling with mental decline? Betsy always made sure things stayed normal, but did she hide her worries? Did Betsy, trying to protect him, make a hard choice to end his suffering? Or did Hackman, feeling burdened by his condition, choose to end his life and leave Betsy to follow? Or maybe grief from losing her took him first? The FBI found no clear answers, no confessions, just silence. They did find one cryptic note. "It's coming. We can't stop it. I'm sorry." What did this mean? Why did Hackman leave those words? No one will ever know. Some think it was his past catching up to him. Others believe it was a strange coincidence, a couple passing away together. The truth died with Hackman and Betsy. But their mystery still lingers. Was it an accident or something more? What do you think? Let us know.